thanks for joining everyone on the call here. So today we've got Sachin joining us, and for those of you that don't know Sachin, he's been part of our estimating team for quite some time, but heading our estimating team for nearly the last 12 months, getting close to anyway. So we've got a wealth of knowledge here from Sachin in terms of estimating. And many of you have probably used the Service Hub to go through and create bills of quantities for your jobs before they turn up on site. So we've had some questions specifically around what to do if the Service Hub has created your bills and you'd like to make a quick change and you think it's just quicker and easier for you to do it rather than get someone else involved to make the change for you. And that's where Sachin comes in here as well. So we're just going to go through, prior to showing you how to edit those purchase orders, I'm just going to get Sachin to show us a bit about how estimators go through and set up a job and get a bill of quantities started and get those into iGyro, and at that point we'll show you then how to edit them yourselves. So thanks for joining, Sachin. I'll pass over to you.
Yep, thank you, Tim. So good afternoon, everyone. So today I'm going to demonstrate how Build.IQ works in. So basically, as an overview for Build.IQ, it's an post-contract estimating software where we do the bill of quantities specifically. So I hope you can see my screen right now. So on the top is the Build.IQ web address that we are going to use to log into Build.IQ. So got a few tabs on the top. It's a very user-friendly software. So as an overview, I will be basically saying how we add a new job, explode a few recipes to populate the bill of quantities, and also log the orders in. So starting how to add a new job is a very simple process. So we click on the Jobs tab on the top. On the top left, we have a plus button that's Add a New Job. So we get to add in the job number in here. So that's 16.
So where would you get that job number from, Sachin?
So we get basically from the iGyro job number that we are using right now. Like this is just a test job right now, since to create as a demo one.
So important to note there that you'd start the job in iGyro as a sales prospect, and then as they progress through, you'll give them a job number, and you just make sure that Build.IQ is in here where you're entering that is the same job number as Gyro is generated for you, and that links the two together.
Thank you, Tim. So it's basically filling in the details. That's a client code from iGyro and the client name. We hit Save Changes. So that's as easy as we add a new job. So on the right side of the screen, we can see a few tabs that needs to be entered in, basic stuffs for client information and site information. So we can enter all these stuffs and hit. So just don't forget to hit Save Changes so that the information that is entered is saved in. So once you add this new job, we go to the BOQ screen. That's in here.
Yeah.
So clicking on the BOQ tab, we have a list of cost centers in here. So to explode recipes, it's specifically in cost center 999, where we have the
Sachin, how do you make sure you're on the right job here? Can you select from multiple jobs from this screen?
Yep, sure. Thank you. So we just make sure that you are on the relevant job that you gotta work on. So we should be having a list of jobs in here. So just select the job that you want to work on, and then click on the cost center that is basically 999 to explode the recipes. Just click on it. So once you click, we get a list of things on the left side. So these are all the recipes that we have in this database right now. So it's very job specific, as in not all, but yes. So let's say
Can you explain this, Sachin, what a recipe actually does?
Okay, so what a recipe is, it has a list of items and formulas already planned in it. So when we explode the recipes, it's going to populate the BOQ based on the quantities that we are going to enter in it. So it's basically a quick way to do the bill of quantities. But definitely, even though you explode the recipes, you just need to make sure that all the quantities and all the items are in there correct. So it's a quick way, but yeah, definitely you need to work on that once you explode the recipes. So,
yeah, so a recipe is basically there's calculations and formulas inside there that make your job a lot easier. So over time, the estimators have worked on these recipes so that you can put some quick inputs in to get lots of items to complete in the bill of quantities.
Yep. So we can see a list of recipes in here. So yep, it's basically job specific. So in case we have Xlite, we can use the Xlite one, or in case we have bricklayer, so we can use the bricklayer. So I'm not going to explode all because we will be getting a bunch of questions that won't be completed in the specified time. But definitely, as an overview, I can just start with external concrete in here. So just to select it, just double tap on it so that it is coming into our BOQ, and also a slab one. Say specifically it's a M class slab based on your plan. So to explode the recipe, we have a button in here, a tab in here, that's explode template. So once we explode this template, we'll be having a list of questions that Build.IQ is going to ask us to complete the formulas that it has with it. So the first one is like external concrete paving. So all these information will be coming from the plans. We just either need to read it or measure it from the plans. So the first one is like external concrete paving curb, abetting the curb. So it's basically, if we measure from the plans, it can be 5 or maybe 4. So it's, for example, I'm just using 5 as an example, and just filling in the next information that we have in. So basically, the concrete may be 25 MPa, abating the house. The next one is 3. So it's basically filling in all the other information that Build.IQ asks us. So either from the plans or you just need to measure it from them. So let's say a few values that I just need to enter in here. Length, say, and just filling in this information so that we can explode our recipe. So once you make sure you have filled in all the information, just hit save changes. So what it does is it just populates the bill of quantities for us. So let's see. So just to view whatever cost centers are live, as in items are added into the cost center, we click live cost centers only so that we can just filter in and see all the cost centers which have items being filled in after we have exploded the recipe. So what we need to do is we just need to go into each of the cost centers and see whether we have the item, specified item in there. Also, just make sure on the left side, if any other extra item has to be added in, double tap on the item and just make sure it's entered into bill of quantities. Always make sure you have the supply being selected so that you can log the orders. So in case, so I'm just setting in a few bill of cost centers in here so that we can just log the orders. Also make sure the quantity is correct. So we have to repeat the same process for all the cost centers and make sure it's correct too. So that's how.
Cost center 300 for me there, Sachin. Just as a few extra items in there, and that'll be useful for us later, I think.
Yep, sure.
So just add a supplier onto that one.
Yep. So we have assigned a supply to it. Just also go through the left items that we have in here and see any other information that we can be filled in or items that can be added to bill of quantities. Deduction, everything kind of seems perfect. So once we fill in all these details, we go to the batch orders tab on the top. Again, a basic process of just selecting the job number that you have to log the orders. So this is the job number that we were working on, and see we have a list of green items being highlighted. So all these green items says we have a supply being selected, and also there is an amount that we can log in. So just we can select the few orders that we can log in right now. So these were the only 4 cost centers we have just worked on right now. So that's the only cost centers that's in green, having a supply being selected and having an amount against it. So we have a button in here that's to log the orders, and just click on the logging orders, and it's as easy as that to log the orders.
So logging the orders, that locks down that bill of quantities, is that right?
Yes, it logs the bill of quantities for us. And once we log the orders, we need to go to iJiro web version, where we are going to sync Build.IQ orders so that the same is coming onto the iJiro screen. So this is the job number we were working on right now. So this is the iGiro web version. Yep. So once we get into the job, we have the orders tab on the top right. So clicking on the orders tab and clicking on sync Build.IQ orders, that gives us the list of orders we have just logged in. So these are all the list of items. I guess we didn't select the supplies for this, or I guess either the supplies won't be there in iGiro. So
I think
that's,
they're probably not in this demo database, but
yes,
it should be fine for most live databases.
So
So you can see here what Sachin's doing. So generally, the Service Hub would generate these for you once they've been synced into Gyro. That little exclamation button lets you know that the PDF purchase order is not available in iGyro yet, but by clicking that exclamation mark, it goes through that generation process to create those orders.
So that's how we add a new job, populate bill of quantities, log it, and sync orders and generate POs.
Very good. Thank you, Sachin. So, I mean, everything that Sachin's done in Build.IQ was a bit of a rush there. So obviously there's a lot more to estimating than just exploding something and then hitting generate. There's a lot of plans that you need to read and understand what's going into that contract. But that was an overview of the process on how to get the orders into iGyro.